pixies, fairies, goblins, centaurs, elves, nymph. Am I missing anyone? And all the other fake creatures, this one is for you. I am currently invested in making crochet pieces, clothing crochet pieces, garments. I may or may not have a used stash of yarn to go through, and I thought that would be the easiest way. For that matter, this video will be a compilation of Fae inspired clothing pieces with all the patterns included. These patterns will be divided by dresses, tops, skirts, vests and coats, headwear, and accessories. This video will be divided by chapters so you can access each of these sections easily. As per usual, all the links to the patterns will be down below in the description. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, but that will be mentioned. So to start with the dresses category, first we have this Angelica dress. This is a YouTube tutorial, and honestly, as a layer on its own, I just love this pattern. Listen, I may have been starting to regrow a certain addiction from the 2010s, followed by you have this dress tutorial which will definitely make you look like a pixie. And the ruffle, and it's easy to make. Then we have this crochet coquette dress, which you can adapt and just make the top. I need to see this in a gradient. And I love that most of these patterns that I found, if you make them in different colored yarn, you get a completely different vibe. If you make this in green, it's very green fairy-like. If you make it in black, you can make it very gothy. Then we have this very cute dress. I love the layers in this. I am a huge fan of dresses with volume. I actually love the colors that they made this dress with. All the shades of blue are actually so pretty. Then we have the Fairyland butterfly dress. Honestly, it looks like there's like a dragon scale on top and then it just butterfly wings at the bottom. Then we have this pattern, which is called Lady of Eden. It is a little bit more revealing and short, but personally, I love it. With crochet, you can always make things longer just by adding a layer or two. And to finalize the dresses, we have this fairy dress, which reminded me so much of like a peacock pattern. But I actually like how much the chest part kind of resembles those armor pieces. Now, moving into the tops, we have these ruffle bralette, which can either be off the shoulder or not. Again, it gives me butterflies, it gives me wings, it gives me ruffles are everything you need in life. Then a simpler project, which is very beginner friendly, would be these off the shoulder top. The little details at the bottom, the sleeves that are easy to do, and then two simple strips that connect to the back to make sure it's perfect. It's just a smart pattern overall. Then we have this fairy wing top. Yeah, slay. This one gives me Betty. This one gives me Pixie that has no issue with the sword. I'll definitely be doing. I really like the little details with the holes. And then we have another simple project, which would be a floral top with butterflies and flowers. Now looking at it, I hadn't realized this is not the normal butterfly, the like easy to do butterfly that you learn when you like learn how to do hearts and magic rings. No, this one is very pretty. I've never seen this. I need to make a few for myself. I could not mention the Lilith top. It just fits perfectly here. And maybe someone out there has not seen this amazing tutorial. And then I found this fairy lace top, which is very tribal, but I still think it matches. It's a little bit more modest and it gives me ranger. And then we have this pattern, which has two types of sleeves. I believe the top is the same, but it has off the shoulder sleeves and then one that would cover up to the neck. And then I found this pattern that includes 3 different patterns, going one by one. The white one, again, very tribal. I would say elf on Coachella. Then the second one, kind of like a spider web. I believe that's what they were going for. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then the last one, I just think it's the prettiest thing I've ever seen in this lifetime. Yeah, I think the last one would be a little bit more difficult compared to the other two to make. that's definitely the one I'll be making. And for our last top, I included the Garden Fade top, which looks like there's plants growing out of your top. They are the sleeves. Looks like they have vines growing. I do think this one is a must-have. You know what else is a must-have? On the skirt section, I'm starting out strong with Lily of the Valley skirt. This one is so easy to make, yet so practical. Again, layering, again, using it on its own, on top of a body, on top of anything that you want. And it's going to look beautiful because it has volume, it has movement. Next, maybe a little bit of a winter. I know we're getting into summer, but the lace maxi skirt, it has flowers, it's striped, it has volume, there's lacy details. Winter elf. Maybe if you all weekend crochet on the weekends for a couple of hours, maybe you'll have this done by winter. So maybe it's practical that I tell you this now. But yeah, flower skirt. Alright, we like it. You can maybe adapt this into making it longer, adapting it into a top, even a tube dress. Moving on, I found this tutorial which includes 3 patterns for different skirts, and I need the 3 of them. Then again, a little bit on the tribal energy, not as Coachella, but modest, cute. We have Wild Thing, and then we have Leaf Burst. Also, another very open pattern, very cutesy, very floral. We have Rosetta Fairy. Is this like Rosetta from Pixie-Owl from the Tinkerbell movies? That was one of my favorites. Personally, I need this one in my life. Our last skirt, and probably my favorite, the Fae Goddess crochet skirt. What? I said I like layers and volume. Moving into vests and coats, I included here things like cardigans, cloaks, vests, hoods, coats. I already said cardigan. Begin with, we have the bell sleeves cardigan. Very cute. See, again, very butterfly. I think it's also the angle that they do the cups that always gives me wings. Bell sleeves, collars. Then we have this lace cardigan, because lace in green, lace in white, lace in beige and brown will always give me fae energy, and this one has flower. I also included this floral cardigan. Now match this with the Lilith top. Do it. Next, we have the princess cloak. Imagine deep in the mountains, searching for your love interest who has gotten lost in a snowstorm, and then you just lift off your hood, turn around, and there he is, staring at your voluminous hair. However, they decide to mention a hair that would be very dry or frizzy because of the snowstorm. How I would make this one more whimsy, more fairy-like, more elven-like, would maybe add more of a fur effect around the hood, or some lace at the bottom, or both. Then we have the Fae Pixie vest, very detailed. I love how intricate these patterns are, and it also ties up in the front. Fairyland butterfly vest. Usually on my videos you see me mentioning sunflowers a lot. Today it's butterflies. Then we have the chunky bulky vest, wrap vest actually. Then we have the flower garden hood, statement piece. You can just wear whatever underneath. This is the star of the show. The fairy queen coat, iconic. I had just mentioned the sunflowers. Garden party cardigan, sunflowers. Moving into headwear, we're going to start with a fairy headband. Very cute, adorable. I'll make it. The iconic fairy flower hat. Listen, there are so many of these out there. I think this one in specific is just iconic. The Fae elf hood, which I'm so surprised I found this one for free. So intricate, so detailed, so many different layers. I love it. A mushroom cap. This is actually one of my favorite Etsy sellers ever. We have this flower hood. Just how unique is that? And a sprite cap. Very unique, very cute. You can either use a hat as a statement piece or as just an accessory, just something to complement the rest of your outfit. Last category to finalize, accessories. We start with the cherry blossom scarf. You know, this just gave me druid. I don't know what I'm remembering exactly, but there's an image in my head. Fairy wings. I'm serious. And it's a free pattern. Then we have fairy arm wraps. Again, free. I am going to say that you can probably do this with a good variety of flowers with the same concept. I needed to bring out the rose choker because I think this is a great complementary piece. Like shown on the thumbnail, you can see it being worn around the arm, around the neck, or around the ear. It's so accessible, so easy to make. A rose flower crown. This one will be a little bit more for the fall, but maybe if you just change the colors, it can be throughout the entire year and adapt it. A simpler flower crown. Then the enchanted woodland belt. Look at the pocket. There are leaves. I know I mentioned this one in a previous video, but it has to be mentioned on this one, right? They are called trailing leaf thigh highs. Also, mushroom kit with a corset, the upper part, shoulder part, neck part, and some kind of wing. I cannot do this video and not mention mushrooms. I'm sorry. And then we have the peanut shawl. I'm not sure why I've not seen this idea more often, but it's insane. Then we have the sunflower corset belt and the pixie pocket belt. Very cute, very you can make it very colorful as well. I have made a playlist for my crochet ideas with patterns included. I have done one for Dungeons and Dragons, I have done one for book lovers, and I have done one for fantasy amigurumi. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking the video, commenting down below which was your favorite, which will you be doing. Yeah, if you'd like to stick around, please consider subscribing as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.